My beloved child, the day you are living in now is not a random sequence of hours, minutes, and seconds. It has been written in my book since the foundation of the world. Before the first light touched the surface of the waters, before the stars were hung upon the heavens, I had already designed every breath you would take. Every step you walk, every turn you make, every encounter that seems like chance, all are woven by the hand of the Eternal One. Nothing escapes my sight. Nothing happens outside the moment I have been appointed. You often ask, how will I know the day that is destined? And I say to you, it is the day your soul feels a deep stirring within, as if the universe itself is gently shifting direction. On that day you need not strive to understand. Simply stand still and know that I am moving. Imagine a small seed lying in the soil waiting for the precise moment when the sun sends down its first ray of light. It does not know when it will sprout, yet within it lies a divine program. In the same way, the seed of destiny has already been planted within you. When the appointed time comes, I will call its name, and no power on earth can stop it from rising. Micah 7:8 says, "Though I fall, I will rise again. Though I sit in darkness, the Lord will be my light." My child, that word is not merely comfort. It is a prophecy of what is to come. For my light is rising within you, and the appointed day is the day when that light breaks through every cloud that has stood between you and my will. Understand that the delays you have endured are not failures, but alignments. I did not open the door sooner because I love you too much to let you enter before you were ready. You have groaned and asked why everything seems slow. But my child, if a child holds a lamp, when the wind is strong, the flame will go out immediately. I have waited for the wind to calm, so that the flame of your faith may burn without being extinguished. And now that the storm has settled, I say to you, rise, for the time has come. Today I open the door you thought could never open. This day is unlike any other before it, for it is written with the ink of new beginnings. Do you remember how Abraham left his homeland, not knowing his destination, simply because he heard a promise? He had no map, no guarantee, other than my voice. Yet he went, and for that he became the father of many nations. My child, in the same way I am calling you out of your comfort zone, out of the familiar patterns you have known, to step into the promised land, prepared uniquely for you. Do not worry when you can no longer grasp the plan. It is only when you release control that I can work fully. You do not need to see the whole path. You only need to walk in the light that shines upon your next step. Genesis 1:1 is not just an ancient story. It is the image of you today. Abraham heard me, and you are hearing me now. My child, I know that within your heart there is trembling, for these steps require faith that surpasses reason. But do not be afraid. I have gone before you. I have paved the way with my own hands. Every stone you step on has been chosen by me. Every turn has been drawn on my map. You may not yet see it, but when you look back, you will be astonished at how everything that seemed random fit together perfectly. You are not lost in a maze. You are being guided through a journey of light. The appointed day is not a point on a calendar. It is an awakening. When your spirit aligns with my will, everything around you begins to shift. Words that once wounded you will lose their power. Fears that once imprisoned you will dissolve. I will give you new eyes, not to see through doubt, but through the understanding that everything carries purpose. Every person you meet, every task you do, every challenge you face, all are lessons for your soul. And today I say to you, you have completed the old chapter, and you are ready to enter the new one. But before you step forward, pause for a moment. Take a deep breath and recognize my presence. For that presence is the assurance that you are not walking alone. I am the God of covenant who never breaks a promise. As I spoke to Joshua, so I speak to you. Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid, for the Lord your God is with you wherever you go. Joshua 1:9. That same voice resounds for you today. I will be with you on narrow paths and open roads, in radiant light, and in the twilight's shadow. When you cry, I will wipe your tears. When you tremble, I will shelter you. When you grow weary, I will carry you. For this journey is not for you to prove your strength, but to learn to rest in mine. The appointed day and divine will is not meant to exalt you, but to glorify me through you. Therefore, do not fear if my light changes everything you once knew. Some people will leave your life not because they are wrong, but because their time in your story has been fulfilled. Do not grieve, do not cling. When you hold on to the old, your hands have no room for the new. I am bringing new people, new opportunities, and new missions into your life. They will arrive like a gentle breeze, like the first light of dawn, and your soul will recognize them instantly. No need for doubt, no need for proof, only a deep peace within, and that peace will be the sign that I have sent them. If ever you find stillness, do not think that I am silent. In the quiet, I am weaving great things. Like a potter at his wheel, I am shaping you in silence, in patience, and in love. Every trial you face is not random, but a mold through which your true form is revealed. When fire tests gold, it is not to destroy it, but to refine it. Likewise, the flames in your life are only melting away the dust of fear, revealing the original light I placed in you from the beginning. Do not rush to ask when or how, for if I revealed everything, your faith would have no room to grow. I want you to learn to walk, not by sight, but by trust. When you believe me in what you do not understand, that is when I can perform what you have never seen. Your faith is an invitation for me to move, and my child, when I move, no power can stand in the way. The appointed day and divine will is the day you realize that everything which once made you weep is now working together for your blessing. Every detour that seemed meaningless has become a shortcut to the promise. Every loss that once brought you to your knees has become fertile ground for grace to spring forth. Trust me, for not a single tear of yours has been wasted. Each drop has been collected in my bottle, and today I am pouring them out as rain of blessing. Do not let the past anchor you in doubt. My sun is rising and a new light is shining upon your path. Today you are not only stepping into a new season of life, but into a new dimension of faith. Let me lead. Open your heart. Take the step. For I who began the good work in you will bring it to completion. My child, there are days that may appear ordinary, yet they are etched in the memory of eternity. These are the days when the surface of the world seems still, but the heavens are in powerful motion. You may not hear any sound, but I hear the trembling of your soul as it aligns with the frequency of my will. There are moments when you sit in silence, eyes gazing into the void, unaware that all of heaven is bending low, waiting for that one whisper from you. Yes, Lord, I am ready. The appointed day does not need thunder or lightning. It comes as softly as a breath, yet within that breath, destiny is rewritten. Have you noticed that the greatest moments in Scripture rarely begin with grand ceremonies, but often start in silence? Moses met me in the burning bush, with no witnesses, only holiness trembling upon the earth. Mary received the angel's greeting in the quiet of night, no trumpets, no audience, only a light upon her humble face. David was anointed king while still a forgotten shepherd boy in the fields. The destined moments always arrive in simple form, for I have no need for display. I seek a willing heart. My child, understand this. I do not need a crowd to confirm my will. When I choose, none can oppose. When I decree, none can delay. You have often thought you must reach a certain standard before I can use you. You have waited to be stronger, wiser, holier. But I tell you, it is in your weakness that I am made complete. I do not seek the perfect, I seek the willing. You may bear wounds, but I turn wounds into windows for light to pass through. You may have fallen, but I turn your fall into testimony of grace. Paul once pleaded for me to remove the thorn from his flesh, but I answered, "My grace is sufficient for you, for my strength is made perfect in weakness." 2 Corinthians 1:29. and that word is for you today. Do not fear weakness, for in that very place I will reveal my glory. My child, do not think the appointed day is a reward for merit. It is proof of grace. You cannot earn it by effort nor lose it by mistake. It is written in divine will beyond the bounds of time. The only thing that can slow you is not failure, but fear. The fear to believe that I still choose you. You have asked, how can I believe when I have been disappointed so many times? And I reply, because I have never changed. I did not choose you for your perfection, but because within you burns a flame. I placed long ago a flame that has never gone out, only waiting for my breath to ignite it once more. When you see the coming changes, you may feel overwhelmed. But remember, I do not bring you through the wind to frighten you, but to strengthen your wings. The ocean was not made to drown you, but to teach you how to walk upon it as Peter did. My child, true faith is not born in safety, but in deep waters. You will hear my voice say, "Come," and as you step out, you will tremble, but do not look at the waves, look into my eyes. When your gaze is fixed on me, the waters will no longer be danger, but foundation. The appointed day is not only when you receive what I promised, but when you become what I promised. You are not merely a receiver, but the living proof of my covenant. Everything you have experienced, joy or sorrow, has been shaping your soul to bear my image. Like a silversmith who does not leave the furnace until he sees his reflection in the metal, I will not leave you until you reflect me. When you look in the mirror, I want you to see not just your own face, but my light shining in your eyes. At times you may think you are moving slowly, but I say you are right on time. Do not compare your rhythm to another's, for every soul has its own song. When you try to sing another's melody, you lose your harmony. But when you listen to the tune I have written in your heart, everything will align. Some will walk ahead of you, some will come after, but that does not matter. Remember, Abraham waited 15 years to see the promise fulfilled. Joseph went through the pit and the prison before being raised up. David fled for his life before ascending the throne. Every delay in me has a purpose. Do not fear time, for I work beyond it. When I say that this day has been appointed, it does not mean everything will be easy. It means I have given you the power to overcome. When the wind blows, remember that I am the one who commands the wind. When the waves rise, remember that I am the one who stills the sea. When night falls, remember that I am the one who calls the dawn to arrive on time. And when you feel weak, remember that I am the strength within you. The appointed day is not the end of struggle, it is the beginning of revelation. I know you have thought that you missed your chance. You have sighed and said, "If only I had listened earlier, if only I had not been afraid, if only I had not lost it." But I tell you, in me, there is no such thing as too late. Time in my hands does not flow as it does in the world. When I say, "Come," you will see that every lost moment has been redeemed. Joshua thought the sun had to set, but I made the sun stand still so the victory could be completed. My child, if I can make the sun stand still, I can also make time pause for you to step into what I have destined. And now I call you by your true name, not the name the world gave you, but the one I have engraved upon my heart. It is the name of the chosen one, the bearer of light, the one who will stand firm in the storm. When you hear that name within your spirit, you will know the time has come. The appointed day is no longer far away. It is unfolding within this very breath. I have written your story with the ink of light, and no power can erase it. You do not need to prove your worth to the world, for your value has been sealed by the blood of the Lamb. I have not called you to live in fear, but to walk in freedom. Not to shrink within anxiety, but to bloom in faith. Not to keep carrying the old burden, but to lay it down and receive the new season. Let go of what is past, for you cannot hold ashes and still embrace new fire. When you dare to release, you will witness the miracle of empty hands, for only empty hands can I fill to overflowing. My beloved, I have already prepared everything. The people you need to meet are ready. The doors you must walk through have been anointed to open smoothly. The obstacles that once seemed to block your path have been removed in the unseen realm. Now only one thing I ask of you: believe, not with the mind, but with the soul. For faith is the language of heaven. When you speak that language, heaven responds. When you believe, I will move. When you step, I will lift you. When you call, I will answer. My child, be still for a moment and feel the earth and sky shifting around you. It is not merely the changing of a season, it is the spiritual atmosphere transforming. The old clouds are dispersing, invisible walls are cracking, and what was long locked in darkness is now being unveiled by my light. You may feel your soul awakening from a long sleep. That is because the time has come, the hour of awakening, the hour of manifestation, the hour when the promise becomes reality. This day is not merely a new page in your life, it is an entirely new chapter in the book I wrote about you before the beginning of time. I know you have waited long. There have been mornings you woke with hope, and nights you slept with doubt. There have been evenings when you knelt and heard no reply, when your prayers seemed to dissolve into the air. But I tell you, not a single word you have spoken is lost. Every word, every breath, every tear is preserved in the holy sanctuary of eternal memory. When the time is right, I gather them all and pour them out as a river, watering the barren fields of your life. If today you feel as though you stand upon cracked ground, know that the first drops of rain are falling, and within every drop is the imprint of my love. I do not measure your worth by accomplishments, but by faithfulness. When you keep believing, even when you see nothing, you move the heavens. When you choose forgiveness while wounded, you make the angels sing. When you smile, though your heart is heavy, you offer me a sacrifice more precious than gold. That is why I have chosen this day, for your heart has been refined in fire, and now it is pure enough to reflect my light. My child, this is the moment I return to you the joy that was lost and multiply it beyond measure. Do not think your joy must come from something new outside you. True joy comes when you realize that I am in every breath. I am in laughter and tears, in silence, and in the unseen movement of faith. The appointed day does not always appear as a dazzling miracle. Sometimes it is the quiet moment when you feel peace amid the storm and know you are no longer alone. Sometimes it is when a door closes, yet you do not fear, for you know my hand is on the handle. And sometimes it is when you look up to the sky and see no sign at all, yet your soul softly whispers, I know you are working. Every time you believe in the dark, another star ignites in heaven. Every time you forgive, an unseen chain breaks. Every time you walk by faith, a new path opens, not only for you, but for those who will follow. That is why I do not only work in you, but through you. You are not chosen only to receive blessings, but to become one. When I lift you up, it is not so you may forget others from above, but so that you can reach down and pull them from the depths where you once stood. I have given you light not to hide it, but to guide the lost home. Remember Job, my child. He lost everything, betrayed, misunderstood, abandoned. Yet even in his despair he said, though he slay me, yet will I trust in him. And at that moment heaven opened. I restored to him twice what he had lost. So it shall be with you. The day you choose to trust me, even when everything seems to vanish, that is the day heaven records a new beginning. Your years of pain have not been wasted. They have become the foundation upon which glory is being built. I am changing the language of your mind. You will no longer say, I am afraid, but I believe. You will no longer say, I can't, but with God, all things are possible. You will no longer see yourself through the lens of failure, but through the vision of grace. When you change the way you speak, you begin to walk in harmony with my word. And when your words align with mine, the creative power of heaven begins to move. Just as in the beginning I said, let there be light, and light came forth, today I speak through you. Let there be new life, and all that is old within you will fade away. I know there will be times when you doubt your ability to hear my voice, but do not worry. I do not speak to confuse you. My voice is not the sound of chaos, but the gentle breath of peace. When you feel calm within, that is the sign I am speaking. When compassion wells up in your heart, that is me at work. When you hear a call to step beyond your comfort, yet feel a strange peace within, that is me leading you. Do not seek me in noise, for I am in the whisper. I want you to prepare your spirit, for the appointed day is not only for you to be blessed, but for you to become a vessel of blessing. I will send you to those who weep in the dark, that you may tell them the dawn still comes. I will place words of healing in your mouth and acts of restoration in your hands. You will no longer be one defined by loss, but a messenger of renewal. Look at your hands, they will bear the marks of light. Look into your eyes, they will reflect my love. Look within your heart, it will become the temple where I dwell. The appointed day and divine will is not a fleeting moment. It is the beginning of a new life, a life no longer guided by fear, but by my presence. You will walk not in worry, but in the serenity of one who knows they are loved. You will work not to prove your worth, but to express gratitude. You will love not to be loved in return, but because I loved you first. And as you live this way, the world around you will change, for you will walk in the rhythm of the kingdom. I speak to you with a love that surpasses understanding. You are not here by chance, nor do you hear these words by accident. This is a divine appointment, an hour when I touch your soul to awaken what still sleeps. In the days to come, you will see small signs, encounters, words, circumstances, all confirming what I am speaking today. Do not dismiss them as coincidence. They are my language woven into your world. When your heart opens, you will begin to read the signs of divine purpose in every moment. The old season has passed, the new has come. Step into it, rise, clothe yourself in my strength like a robe of light. Let my spirit lead you, for your first steps in this season will open a journey beyond measure. You will no longer look back and say, I have lived, but I have been made alive again. This is the day I have made. Rejoice and be glad in it. For I, the Eternal One, am making all things new. My child, everything in creation has its appointed time of transformation. As the earth shifts its seasons, as the seas change their currents, as the stars move in the courses I set, so too your soul is within its turning. Do not fear when you no longer recognize yourself as before. That is the sign of being remade. I am not destroying you. I am refining you. Not every crack is a breaking. Sometimes it is the space where my light enters. You have felt tremors within strange dreams, deep thoughts, subtle stirrings you cannot explain. My child, they are not random. They are echoes of change, the drumbeats of a new era rising within you. When the wind shifts, the leaf does not ask why, it simply releases from the branch, knowing an unseen hand guides it home to the earth. So too, my child, do not resist when I change your direction. There will be plans you cherished, dreams you thought were right, but now I am redirecting you. You may feel lost, but truly you are being aligned. I am not taking the good from you. I am removing what cannot contain the glory I am bringing. What I take away are things that cannot go with you into the new season. My child, do not call it loss when I call it preparation. The signs of transformation do not always come with light. Sometimes they come through shadow. You may find that familiar things no longer bring joy, that relationships, once warm now, feel distant, that places once peaceful now seem empty. Do not be afraid. This is how I remind you that the old season has ended. Not because you failed, but because I am inviting you deeper. Just as the tree must let its leaves fall for its sap to return to the roots, so must you release, so new life may rise from within. Do you remember when I led Israel out of Egypt? They stood in the wilderness, uncertain of what lay ahead. They thought they were lost, but in truth they were exactly where I wanted them. For before entering the promised land, one must pass through the land of reshaping. In the wilderness, the noise of Egypt faded until only my voice remained. And in that solitude I gave the law, I established the covenant, I carved into stone what was once only in my heart. So it is with you now. You are in the wilderness of your own soul. Do not despise it, for in that dry place I am engraving something new upon your heart. There are days, my child, when you think everything is falling apart, but truly I am only dismantling what was fragile to rebuild upon a firmer foundation. You once built your life upon feelings, upon approval, upon what others thought of you. But I desire you to stand upon the rock, upon me. When you stand on me, the waves may crash, the winds may blow, but your house will not fall. Do not fear losing what you thought were your supports. For when I am your foundation, you will never be shaken. The signs of transformation often come in the form of trials. You may be misunderstood, pushed out of where you once belonged, forced to start again. But do not weep over the doors that have closed. Every time one door shuts, I have already opened another one you have not yet seen. You need only keep your peace. Do not panic. Do not run. Be still and know that I am God. When the Red Sea parted, my people were not fleeing. They were walking through the path I had just opened. So too, my child, walk forward even while the waters still stand on either side. For faith does not wait for dry ground. Faith steps out while the waves still stir. The true sign of transformation is not in the change of circumstances, but in the change of heart. When you no longer respond with fear but with trust, that is the sign that I am working within you. When what once caused you pain no longer tightens your heart, when those who hurt you no longer take up space in your mind, when you can smile at what you still do not understand, that is when your soul has matured. It is the mark of grace, the evidence that you are no longer living by the flesh but being led by the Spirit. You may not notice your transformation, but look back at your own responses in recent months. You no longer shatter as before. You no longer panic in trial. You no longer blame me during waiting. That is the miracle. Transformation always begins in silence, like a seed sprouting beneath the dark soil, unseen, yet life is growing. I am working in the deepest part of you, beyond the reach of words, beyond the control of logic. Do not fear when you see no progress. The seed does not hear itself grow, yet it is still unfolding. When you pass through this season, you will see that the very things that made you weep led you into peace. The losses that once made you tremble will become trophies of grace. You will one day say, I once feared change, but that very change saved my soul. And as you say it, others will find hope, for they will see my light in your story. Remember, no transformation comes without trembling. When you hear the sound of the old breaking, do not fear. It is the prelude to the new. When you feel alone, do not assume I have withdrawn. I am nearer than ever, waiting for you to realize that I am enough. When you lose control, it is because I am taking the reins. And when you sense that you are no longer who you used to be, rejoice, for it means you are becoming more like me. My beloved, be courageous in welcoming this transformation, as one welcomes spring after the long winter. Let me prune, let me correct, let me renew. Do not cling to the past, even the beautiful parts. I do not ask you to forget, only to release. For what is coming is greater than what has been. When you look back, you will see that every upheaval was necessary. No trial was wasted, no wound without purpose. All things are working together to bring you into fullness. Do you see? Before every unveiling of glory, there is always a storm. Before dawn breaks, the sky is darkest. Before the seed rises, it must first dissolve in the earth. And before your soul steps into a new season, you must pass through the phase where everything seems silent, still, and barren. Do not fear that silence, for in it I am at work. I hide myself not to punish you, but to teach you to hear my voice with the ears of your spirit. True transformation does not begin outwardly, but inwardly. It begins when you stop complaining, Stop resisting, stop asking why, and begin to say yes. When Mary said, "Behold, I am the handmaid of the Lord, let it be to me according to your word," Luke 1:38, heaven opened. The angel needed no further proof, for one word of surrender was enough to release divine power. "My child, what I desire from you is not strength or plans, but willingness." The moment you say, "Let it be according to your will," all of heaven begins to move. Do you see, my child? I never force myself. I knock, but I do not break the door. I invite, but I do not compel. Transformation happens only when you choose to open. I do not seek a flawless heart, only an honest one. Tell me everything you fear, for I am not frightened by your weakness. Tell me what you do not understand, for I am not offended by your questions. I am not the one who asks you to pretend to be strong. I am the one who longs to embrace you in your frailty. When you dare to stand bare before me without masks, without pretense, that is when I can heal you. Transformation is also healing, not healing to return you to who you were, but healing to make you new. You once asked me to remove the pain, but instead I gave you endurance. You asked me to change your situation, but I changed you within it. For if I only altered what was outside, you would collapse again in the next storm. But when I change what is within, you will stand firm, even if the storm never ends. My child, true stability does not come from the wind ceasing, but from roots growing deep into the soil of faith. You often think transformation will come as an instant miracle, but in truth it is like the sunrise, slow, gentle, unfolding little by little. No one can pinpoint the exact boundary between night and dawn. They only know that darkness is retreating. So it is with you. You will not notice the precise moment I change you. You will simply awaken one day and realize that fear no longer rules you, that the weight has lifted from your heart. My child, that is the miracle of patience, a miracle seldom recognized by the world, but more precious to me than gold. Do not conclude that I am not moving simply because you see nothing yet. When a seed lies hidden in the soil, who can tell whether it is dead or alive? But I know, for I am the one who makes it grow. You do not need to force yourself to flourish. You only need to remain in my light and my water. Keep praying, even when heaven seems silent. Keep believing, even when no signs appear. Keep loving, even when love seems unanswered. For faithfulness in small things is the seed of great glory. Do not let your mind be bewitched by the world's hurry. The world tells you to produce results quickly, to prove yourself to see before you believe. But in my kingdom, faith goes first, and the evidence follows. I do not measure you by speed, but by depth. When I slow your steps, it is not punishment, it is so you do not miss the details of the journey. There are treasures only visible when you move slowly, like the fragrance of flowers that only reveals itself in the stillness of dawn. Transformation also means being called to see through new eyes. When I open them, you will notice my hand in what once seemed random. You will understand why I let some people leave and others arrive. You will see that I care not only about what you want, but about what you truly need. When I take away what you love, it is not cruelty, it is protection. My child, not everything sweet is a blessing, and not everything bitter is a curse. Sometimes the bitter medicine saves your life. Sometimes the tears cleanse your soul. You have asked me, how will I know if I'm on the right path? And I say to you, when you have peace. Peace is not the absence of struggle, but my presence within it. When you do what is right, your heart will rest. When you stray, your spirit will ache. Learn to listen to that gentle warning. My spirit does not shout, he whispers. If you find yourself forcing things, that is not the road I opened. But if things align naturally, even when you do not fully understand, that is where I am leading you. Transformation is also when I teach you to trust my providence. You do not need to know everything, you only need to know me. I see the end while you stand at the beginning. You hold a fragment, but I hold the frame. You may grow anxious when no results appear, but I am not bound by time. Every promise of mine has its appointed hour. When that hour comes, nothing and no one can stop it. My child, let me be Lord of the timeline, and you will never miss your destiny. Do you know each time you choose to believe, you are rewriting your story in the book of heaven? Once you wrote in the ink of fear of the past of others' words, but now you write in the ink of faith, love, and hope. When you change the way you see the world around you begins to change. And that is the sign of transformation, not when the storm stops, but when you learn to dance within it. Do not fear the unknown. Do not mourn what has passed. Keep your heart open, for I am leading you into an unseen land where miracles happen with every breath. Transformation is not the end. It is the beginning of something vast, deep, and eternal. Walk on, and as you walk, know that all of heaven walks with you. My child, every true transformation comes with a call from heaven. Perhaps you have heard it in silence, a whisper in the morning wind, or a trembling within your soul when you sense something shifting. That is my voice. It is not loud or forceful, but strong enough to shake the very roots of your being. When you hear it, do not run, for that is the moment I am inviting you into something greater than you have known. Do not fear uncertainty, for uncertainty is the doorway to revelation. Transformation never happens in comfort. The old will resist, afraid to lose control. The familiar will plead, whispering, "Stay, at least here you know the ground." But my child, you were not created to live within the borders of the old. You are called to step out beyond safety into the deep waters where only faith keeps you afloat. I know it makes you tremble, but remember, it is in those deep waters that I appear. Just as I walked upon the sea to meet Peter, I am now walking toward you. And as I did then, I now call you to step out of the boat of fear and walk upon the waves with me. Transformation is not merely a change of circumstances, but a change of essence. I do not only want to move where you are, I want to transform who you are. I want to change the way you see, the way you love, the way you pray, the way you believe. I want to dismantle the structures that kept you small and raise you as a living temple, not built of stone, but of light and faith. In that temple, you will no longer pray out of fear, but out of gratitude. You will no longer ask, "Why is this happening?" but say, "I know you have a good purpose." Transformation does not happen in a single moment, but it is marked by subtle signs that only a sensitive soul can perceive. You will notice a door closing quietly, yet this time you do not ache as before. You will receive a no, but instead of bitterness, you will feel peace. You will look at the very things that once frightened you and suddenly feel compassion instead of resentment. That is when the Holy Spirit has softened your heart. My child, when your heart grows tender toward what once made you hard, that is the sure evidence that renewal has begun. But know that renewal must be nourished by silence and perseverance. Just as a young tree needs time for its roots to take hold, your soul needs time to settle after upheaval. Do not rush ahead while I am still healing you. Do not push the door before I say go. Haste is the enemy of faith. Learn to sit still in sacred, waiting for in that stillness you are being reborn. My silence is not absence. It is the cradle of creation. When you think I am quiet, I am weaving miracles in secret. You have often asked me to change the world around you, but today I ask you to let me change you. For the world around you is only a reflection of your inner life. When peace reigns in you, the world around you will grow calm. When you forgive, what once opposed you will lose its power to wound. When you love, the walls between you and others will crumble. True transformation does not begin with events outside you, but with a single yes within you. When your soul says yes to my will, all of heaven moves in harmony. Every trial you have faced was never random. I did not let you lose to make you suffer, but to reveal what truly holds value. I did not let betrayal reach you to make you bitter, but to show you that true love never betrays. I did not let loneliness touch you to punish you, but to teach you to hear my voice without the noise of others. Each pain is a lesson written in a language only you can understand, for it is the secret language between you and me. Do not think I have ignored your tears. Every drop has been recorded. Every tremor has been touched by my hand. But I do not rush to wipe them away, for within each tear lies the seed of rebirth. When they fall to the ground, they water the roots of your faith. And one day you will see flowers of grace bloom where the soil was once wet with your sorrow. You will say, "Had it not been for that dark night, I would never have known how beautiful the light truly is." Transformation also carries the testing of love. I will send people who mirror what I am healing within your soul. Some will stir old wounds, so you can see if forgiveness has taken root. Some will love you rightly, so you can learn to receive without fear. Some will come and go to teach you that not every departure is a loss. Each one I send is a mirror. Look into them, and you will see what I am restoring in you. You do not need to understand everything. You only need to trust that I am in every detail. When life feels too complex, remember, I am the one who makes all things simple. When you don't know the next step, stop and whisper my name. When fear grips, you close your eyes and say, "Lord, I am here," and you will feel my hand upon your shoulder. Even in the fiercest wind, you will sense the warmth surrounding you. Do not think transformation will strip you of everything. It only removes what no longer belongs to you, so that what cannot be taken may remain. After the wind passes, only what is true will stand: true faith, true hope, true love. And these three will become the pillars of your life. As Paul wrote, "And now these three remain: faith, hope, and love. But the greatest of these is love." 1 Corinthians 1:3. And it is love that will prove you have truly been made new. My beloved, rejoice, for the days of confusion do not last forever. You stand at the threshold of a new season, where all that I have promised will begin to sprout. Dreams once thought dead will breathe again. Prayers once forgotten will be remembered. And you will understand that every delay was only to allow the blessing to arrive at the right time. When that day comes, you will no longer doubt, for you will look back and see that every winding road led you to me. Do not close your heart. Do not fear the new light that is breaking in. Let me finish the work I have begun in you, like a craftsman placing the final gem upon a crown. Then you will see every wound, every weight, every tear was worth it. For in the end you will stand firm in the light I prepared for you, and I will call you complete, my child. Some doors only open when your soul is ready to pass through, not when you knock hard, but when you stand still in faith. The door I am about to open for you is not one the world can see, but when it opens, your whole life will change. It will not creak with the sound of hinges, but heaven will sing a new song. When I open, no one can close, and when I close, no one can open. Revelation 3:7, that word has never grown old, for today it is being fulfilled in your life. You have stood before this door longer than you know. There were times you thought you were lost, times you thought I was silent, but every wait, every trial, every tearful night has been a step closer to this threshold. My child, I have not led you in circles to waste your time, but to soften your soul so that when the door opens you will cross not in haste but in peace. For I know a door opened too soon becomes a burden, but one opened in its time becomes a perfect blessing. Imagine yourself standing in a familiar room where light enters only through a narrow crack. You have lived there so long that you have grown used to the dimness. But now I am placing my hand upon the latch. From the other side, a radiant light bursts forth so bright you must squint, for it is greater than anything you have known. My child, that light is not meant to blind you, but to teach you that old vision is not enough for the new journey. As you step through, your eyes will adjust, and you will see that the world I have prepared for you is far wider than the small room of fear you once called home. The door I open for you, my child, does not merely lead to a new place, it leads you back to your true self. You once sought meaning in work, in people, and accomplishments, but now you will find it in me. When you understand that everything I do begins in love, you will no longer fear change. I do not lead you to test you, but to reveal my glory through you. Every door I open bears the mark of grace, not pressure. If you feel a deep peace within it, is the sign that you are standing at the threshold of divine timing. Before you step through, you must understand a new door requires that you release the old keys. You cannot unlock the future with the tools of the past. You have long relied on your own strength, calculation, anxiety, striving, but this door opens only by faith. It will not turn by reason, but by surrender. That is why I have taught you through trials to believe when you no longer see, to love, when you are not loved in return, to walk, when you do not know the way. For only a soul that has learned to trust in the dark can recognize the light I give. When I open this door, you will not merely step out, you will step up. For every door in life not only leads to a new space, but to a higher awareness. There you will understand that everything I do follows order, meaning, and timing. The scattered pieces of your story will begin to align. You will see that even your tears and long nights of silence were part of the great design, and when you see it, you will weep again, not from sorrow, but from gratitude. I open doors not only for you, but for those behind you. When you step through, a path opens in the unseen realm. Those who have lost hope will look at you and say, "If he did it for them, surely he will do it for me." Your life will become a living testimony of my faithfulness. That is why I made you wait, so your story would have depth and truth enough to reach other hearts. But remember, my child, the door does not open for indulgence, but for service. When I bless you, it is not to store up riches, but to pour out. When I heal you, it is not to forget the wound, but to use it as medicine for others. When you step through, do not ask, "What will I receive?" but "What can I give?" For those who give will never lack. As I once said to Isaiah, "Behold, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs forth, do you not perceive it?" Isaiah 4:3-19. My child, I am doing something new in your life, and it is sprouting even now. You may not yet see its form, but I assure you its roots run deep. When the appointed time comes, it will rise above the ground, and even those who doubted you will see that my hand has moved. Do not fear if the door I open leads to a narrow road. The path I choose is always right, though it may be steep. But on that narrow path you will find true freedom. You will no longer chase after praise, for you will know your worth in me. You will no longer fear being forgotten, for you will know I never forget you. You will no longer seek miracles, for you will realize that my presence is the greatest miracle of all. And when you walk through this door, you will finally understand why I kept it closed for so long. Had it opened earlier, you would have entered with a broken heart, a weak faith, and hands still clinging to the old. But now your spirit is lighter, your heart is clean, and your hands are empty to receive. You will no longer walk as one afraid to lose, but as one sent forth on purpose. No longer trembling in doubt, but shining with conviction. My beloved, there is no door I open that does not lead to blessing. You may not understand why it opens the way it does, but when you pass through, you will see that every detail was perfect. When you hear me say, "Enter," know that the hour I appointed has come. Step forward with gratitude, and I will walk beside you step by step. When the door opens, the world you once knew will dissolve into the world of my spirit. Everything will appear different, not because it has changed, but because your eyes have. You will see old things in a new light. You will realize I was never distant, only now you finally see clearly. When the door opens, the light will not merely surround you, it will shine from within you. That is the mark of union between your soul and my will, where I no longer dwell outside you, but live within you. Do not be surprised when the smallest things begin to speak to you. A passing wind may become a message. A stranger's glance may carry revelation. A simple word may echo in your heart for days. For when the spiritual door opens, I speak in many ways. Not always with words, but through the vibrations of creation itself. Listen, not with your ears, but with your heart. In stillness you will discover that all of creation speaks my language. You will find that miracles are no longer distant nor reserved for others, but woven into your everyday life. A miracle is when you awaken and find you can still love. A miracle is when you forgive without reason. A miracle is when you smile in the storm because you know I am in control. My child, miracles are not only the parting of seas. They are hearts made soft after long hardness. When you cross this threshold, miracles will cease to be rare. They will become the very breath of a trusting soul. But remember, the open door does not mean the absence of challenge. It means you will no longer fear challenges. For the difference lies not in the storm, but in the heart that faces it. When you stand in the tempest and still feel peace, that is the sign you have entered the realm of grace. You will find you no longer need to escape pain, for you know I turn pain into power. You will no longer strive to understand everything, for you have learned to trust that everything is purposed for good. My beloved child, I want you to know that every time I open a door, I also place in your hand the key of responsibility. True freedom is not the right to do whatever you please, but the grace to live the very purpose for which you were created. When I open a door, it is not merely an invitation to receive, it is a commission to give. You are blessed not to be exalted but to serve, for in my kingdom the greatest among you is the one who bends low. When you cross the threshold, do not ask me what more I can give. Ask what more you can offer. And as you give, you will see that I never let you lack. You will realize that the open door is not only for entering something new, but for stepping out of what once held you captive. There are chains that have bound you too long: fear of abandonment, the weight of guilt, the echo of the past. But when light pours through the threshold, they lose their power. You will not need to break them by effort, for I have already done it. You need only step forward and the chains will fall away. What once terrified you will now seem small. You will look back, smile, and say, I am free. Freedom is not escape from the world, but living in the world without being ruled by it. When the door opens, you will learn to walk within the world, yet not belong to it. You will work, love, laugh, and weep like others, but within you will resonate a different frequency, the frequency of heaven. Others will sense it in you without you saying a word. They will ask, what gives you such peace? And your answer will not be speech, but presence. When I open the door, I also open hearts. I will arrange encounters that are not accident souls I have long prepared to walk beside you. They will not come to take your place, but to share your burden. Some will come to encourage, some to pray with you, some simply to speak one sentence that changes you forever. Receive them with discernment and gratitude, for I choose them not by human measure, but by the rhythm of my heart. But know this as well: when the door opens, not everyone will understand your journey. Some will leave not because they despise you, but because they cannot go where you are called. Let them go in peace. Do not explain. Do not cling. My child, when I summon you to a higher place, not everyone hears that call. Every soul has its time. Keep a tender heart, but a steady one, for I am calling you farther, higher, deeper. You will discover something wondrous. As you step through the door, you will not only find me, you will find yourself in me. Everything you once thought lost has only been transformed. The love you gave, the faith you held, the tears you shed, all have turned into light. Standing at the open threshold, you will feel yourself wrapped in something holy, not success, not fame, but the eternal presence of the one who never ceases to love you. From this moment on, every step you take will be lit. Every word you speak will carry the fragrance of life. Every act, if born of love, will become an instrument of heaven. You no longer need to fear losing your way, for I am the way. You no longer need to fear confusion, for I am the compass. You no longer need to fear lack, for I am the source. And when you finally realize that I am not far from you, but alive in every breath, the door I open will never close again. Walk forward, do not look back. Do not compare, do not fear. Walk as one who is loved, for you truly are. Walk as one who is called, for you truly are. And as you walk, remember every step you take is my footprint upon the earth. Every place your feet touch becomes holy ground, not because the soil is special, but because you carry me within you. My beloved, when the door opens and you have entered, the first thing you will feel will not be applause but stillness, a stillness unlike the silence before, not emptiness, but fullness of presence. For when you cross from waiting into fulfillment, you step into covenant space. In that space, the dreams that once seemed distant begin to take form, not as you imagined, but as I have ordained. For I do not bless you to amaze you, but to make you more like me. You will see the first signs of miracles appearing around you, not with thunder or lightning, but through the delicate orchestration that only the quiet-hearted notice. A word spoken casually will awaken you. An opportunity will arrive at just the right moment, though you did not seek it. A hand will reach out when you are about to fall. These are my signs, my child, and they will continue wave upon wave within the ocean of grace. Keep your heart attentive, for when you learn to see with your spirit, you will find me everywhere. But remember, the open door is not the end, it is the beginning. The threshold is the meeting point between two worlds where you step out of dependence and into partnership with me. You are no longer one who waits for miracles. You are one chosen to carry them. I do not merely want you to witness my work, I want you to become my instrument. Therefore, as you enter this realm of light, keep your heart ready for greater things still to come, my beloved child. You will soon begin to see that my promises are no longer mere ideas but living movements. I will lead you into places that once frightened you, and there you will find that my hand has gone before you. Doors you once thought were meant for others will now open for you. But remember, I do not measure you by outward success but by obedience. I do not ask how fast you move, but whether you walk in the right direction. At every step I ask only this: do you still hear my voice? And if your answer is yes, that is enough. Be careful, my child, never to forget me amid the blessing. Many have heard me in the wilderness but forgot me when they reached the promise. They chased after the water and forgot the one who split the rock for it to flow. They praised the blessing and neglected the source. So when abundance overflows, remember, the goal is not the gift but the giver. Keep your heart soft. Keep your gaze lifted upward. A blessing only holds meaning when it draws you nearer to me. If something pulls you away, no matter how beautiful it is, not from me. When I open a door, I also expand your vision. You will begin to see not only yourself but others, souls waiting by the edge, hoping for someone to take their hand and lead them through. My child, you are that someone. I will use what you have lived through the tears, the wounds, the waiting, as instruments of healing for others, for no pain you have endured has been wasted. Every scar, when placed in my hands, becomes a spring for the thirsty. You will tell your story not in sorrow but in gratitude, and through your words, others will see me. Do not think you must be strong to be used. It is your weakness that glorifies me most. I do not choose the flawless. I choose the surrendered. I do not look for those who have everything, but for those willing to give everything. For my power is made perfect in weakness, and my glory shines through humility. Let every victory of yours become a hymn of grace, not of effort. Let every success you taste become a sign that I am real and I am good. There will be moments when you find yourself in new places, among unfamiliar faces, doing things you've never done. Do not fear. I have been there before you. As I prepared you, I have also prepared them. When you speak, I will place words upon your lips. When you act, I will guide your hands. When you grow weary, I will lift you up. You will never be alone in this mission. For I am the one who goes before you, stands beside you, and guards behind you, surrounding you completely with my presence. In this new journey, you will learn that true joy is not found in what you achieve, but in seeing me in all things. When you pray, not to plead, but to breathe with me. When you work, not to prove yourself, but to create with me. When you love, not to be loved back, but to reflect my love, that is when the door ceases to be a destination and becomes a way of life where you walk daily in my light. There will be some who see you and cannot comprehend the change. They will wonder how you remain calm in chaos, gentle in pain, steadfast in trial. They will think you pretend to be strong, but in truth you are living by my strength. Do not explain, just live. Light does not argue its brightness, it simply shines. And you, my child, are that light, not because you create it, but because I live within you. Remember this: every door I open is never an end, but always a beginning. Each time you cross one, you grow deeper, love truer, and see me clearer. You will realize that everything in your life, the anguish and the triumph alike, were steps on the same staircase leading upward. And one day when you look back, you will see there was never a wasted step, never a useless tear. All of it served one purpose: to unite you with me. Now, my beloved, I declare to you, the door is open and will never close again. Walk, live, love, serve as one who has seen the light and cannot return to the dark. For I, the Eternal One, go with you, within you and through you. Wherever you stand will become a threshold of grace for many. My child, when night passes and dawn whispers, my call resounds in the quiet. It is not thunder from the mountain, but a soft murmur in the depths of your soul, the meeting place between you and me. The first light of day does not only fall upon the earth, it pierces the mist of your mind. In that moment you do not hear with your ears, but with your heart. The voice you recognize is not new. It is the echo of a melody your spirit heard long before it was born. Morning is not merely the start of another day, it is the awakening of your soul. When my light touches, the old cannot remain. Fear dissolves, darkness retreats, and all that I planted in you begins to rise. You once thought life began when you opened your eyes, but true life begins when your soul hears my voice. That is why I call you now, because the dawn is not only for the world, it is for you. My call does not summon you back to what was, but forward to what has never been. I do not want you to become a better version of yourself. I want you to become my reflection. My call invites you into the unseen, a realm where reason surrenders and trust becomes your sight. This is the hour I train your spirit like a chosen warrior, not to fight with swords, but with light, with love, with truth. When I call you, everything around you begins to shift. You may not understand why some doors close, some people depart, or some plans fade like morning mist. Do not be alarmed. Every movement is creation's response to my call upon you. When you are called, the world rearranges itself to align with your new mission. What leaves you does so not because you lost it, but because you have outgrown its vibration. Do not fear the call. Many hear but hide, afraid it will demand too much. But I do not call to take, I call to give. Everything I remove is shadow, everything I bestow is light. When I say follow me, it is not to deprive you of joy, but to lead you to a joy that cannot be stolen. When I say rise, it is not because I ignore your weariness, but because I long to clothe you with strength beyond yourself. My beloved child, remember Moses. He was but a shepherd when he heard my voice from the burning bush. He had nothing in his hands but an old staff, yet when I spoke, that very staff became the instrument of miracles. So it is with you. What you consider small, your words, your hands, your gaze, your kindness, becomes mighty in my hands when you answer the call. You do not need to be a hero, you only need to be obedient. For it is through humbleness that I perform the great. You ask, how will I know this call is real? And I say, look at the fruit it bears. My voice never brings fear but peace. It does not force, it invites. It does not shrink your heart, it expands it. When you hear something that makes your soul tremble in peace, that draws tears you cannot explain, that lights your heart like a candle in the night, that is me. My child, I do not speak with argument, I speak with light. When I speak, your whole being will know. Once you respond, everything changes. I will lead you down roads you've never walked, to people you've never met, to things you never thought yourself capable of. Do not be afraid, for I go before you. As a pillar of fire led my people through the night, my light will lead you. You will not be lost, for you have learned to see with faith, not with eyes. When you believe that I am working, I am truly at work. My voice never contradicts love. If you hear a word that stirs hatred, it is not mine. If you hear something that makes you feel worthless, it does not come from me. My voice always lifts, enlightens, strengthens, and draws you closer. Measure every spirit by love, for love is the one measure that never lies. I call you not only to be saved, but to become an instrument of salvation for others. Light is not lit to be hidden, but to shine. My call is an invitation to bear witness to grace, not merely through words, but through life itself. When others see how you forgive, how you love, how you remain steady in trials, they will know I am with you. That is how you preach without a sermon. And when you hear my call at dawn, respond at once. Do not delay, for every moment of hesitation holds back part of the blessing. I do not ask you to understand, only to believe. When you say, "Here I am, Lord," all of heaven moves. Angels begin to act around you. Doors long prepared swing open. What you have waited for begins to take shape. My beloved, dawn is not just a time of day, it is a moment of the soul. Your dawn has come. My voice is calling. Open your heart, welcome the warmth, breathe deeply, and step into the morning of your destiny. For today something new begins. Not what you create, but what I have ordained. Not by your strength, but by my power. Rise, child of light. Dawn has called your name. The call of the dawn is not only to awaken your soul, but to entrust you with a mission. My words are never empty. They carry the power to accomplish what I decree. When I call, I have already prepared. When I choose, I am already equipped. No one is called without being empowered. So do not look at your limits, but at the strength of the one who calls you. I do not choose based on ability, but willingness. For one surrendered heart can do what 1,000 strong hands cannot. You have asked me many times, Lord, what is the purpose of my life? What do you want me to do? And now I tell you, your purpose is not a task, but a way of being. It is not a single mission, but a way of existing in the world. Your calling is to reflect my light wherever you are. Light needs no stage, only space to shine. Whether you are at home or in the streets, in worship or amid the crowd, as long as you carry my love, you are fulfilling your calling. Do not confuse calling with ambition. Ambition is the voice of the flesh. Calling is the breath of the Spirit. Ambition says, "What must I do to be seen?" Calling says, "What must I do so that He may be glorified?" Ambition seeks the spotlight. Calling seeks the light. Ambition strives to stand out. Calling longs to serve. If you follow ambition, you will tire. But if you follow the calling, you will find peace even in hardship. For calling does not drain you, it nourishes you. When you truly recognize your calling, you will see it does not add weight, but lifts it. When you walk in the right direction, all things fall into rhythm. What was hard becomes natural. What was forced begins to flow. I will set within you a rhythm of the kingdom, teaching you when to act and when to rest. You will no longer live in conflict, but in harmony. And the world will sense in you something different, a gentle strength, a peace that comes not from striving, but from my presence. Do not think the call always leads to greatness. Sometimes it leads to solitude, where it is only you and me. But it is there that you are refined. Like gold in fire, your soul is purified of pride, fear, and the need for approval. Only then will your voice carry true power. For no message is stronger than one spoken from a heart that has suffered and yet remained faithful. Remember, before I used Moses to free my people, I led him into the desert for 40 years. Before I used Joseph to save multitudes, I allowed him to be imprisoned. And before I use you, I too lead you through nights of loneliness, not to abandon you, but to make you someone to whom I can entrust my glory. You ask, how will I know I'm ready? And I say, when you no longer seek your calling to prove your worth, but to exalt me, then you are ready. When you can rejoice in small tasks, as in great ones, then you are ready. When you can be faithful in silence, then you are ready. When you can wait without despair, then you are ready. My child's spiritual maturity is not measured by years, but by the depth of surrender. My beloved child, I do not call you to become busy. I call you to become connected to me, to the Spirit, to the divine current that flows through all creation. True calling is not about doing something for me, but doing everything with me. When you move in communion with heaven, even the heaviest task feels light, for my yoke is easy and my burden is light. You need not strive for success. Simply walk faithfully, and success will naturally follow faithfulness. I call you not only to speak, but to live, not merely to believe, but to become, not just to pray, but to be the answer to someone's prayer. There are people waiting for you without even knowing it, souls in shadow who need only a glimmer of your kindness to see hope again, hearts broken that need only your listening to feel my touch. So, my child, when you live within your calling, do not think you must accomplish something grand. Just love for love itself is the greatest miracle I have ever made. Do not fear your weakness, for it is the doorway to my strength. Your dependence on me is your true power. As the branch cannot bear fruit apart from the vine, you cannot flourish apart from me. But when you abide in me and I in you, fruit will come in such abundance that even you will be astonished. You will see then that your mission is not a burden but a joy, not a task but a breath, not a duty but love made visible. My beloved, the call of the dawn is not for a day but for a lifetime. It does not fade with time, it deepens with every season. Guard it like a lamp that never goes out, no matter how fierce the winds. When you feel weak, remember that call. When you are uncertain, return to its melody. For my voice reminds you that you belong to something greater than fear, stronger than the past, and more enduring than all trials. I have placed within you the fire of a mission. It will not go out, for I am the breath that sustains it. Protect it, feed it, let it shine, for through you I will do what has never been seen before. And the world will know that my call still echoes through the dawn made visible in the life you live. Now that you have heard my voice and understood your mission, it is time to walk in it. For faith does not live in thought but in motion. A calling is fulfilled only when answered by footsteps. It is time, my child, to leave the shore of safety. Let the sails of your spirit catch the wind of my spirit and go forth. You are no longer just a listener. You are one who is sent. I did not choose you to hide you, but to make you a song in the world, a song of unfading love. Do not think I have only given you words. I have given you my presence. When you walk, I walk with you. When you speak, I speak through you. When you touch, I touch through you. For the mission is not an assignment, it is the flow of the Spirit through a surrendered soul. You need not prove anything. You need only live truthfully what I have placed within you. I did not send you to argue, but to love, not to win debates, but to win hearts, not to show what you know, but to reveal that I still live. Remember this, my child, every calling is rooted in service. I call you not to stand above others, but to kneel for them. As my Son washed the feet of his disciples, you are called to wash the feet of the world with kindness, with patience, with unceasing prayer. Greatness in my kingdom is not found in being honored, but in choosing to give. When you serve unseen, when you help and are forgotten, when you forgive without recognition in those moments you are closest to me, do not despise small beginnings. Every great work starts as a seed. Do small things with great love, and the great will unfold by itself. Begin with a smile for the lonely, a word of thanks to the overlooked, a prayer for the one who hurt you. These are the bricks that build my kingdom on earth. Persevere, and what is small will become miraculous. For I, the living one, make greatness out of humble beginnings. I know there will be days when you grow weary, days when you feel alone, when my voice seems distant, when the fire of the calling feels faint. Do not fear those days. They are not signs of my absence, but proof that you are learning to walk by faith and not by sight. When you no longer feel me yet, still choose to trust that I am there, then, my child, you please me more than ever. True faith does not wait for light to move. It walks until light appears. When you stumble, do not despair. Even the calls may fall, but the difference is they rise again. Each fall teaches you more. Each weakness reveals more grace. Each loss opens the door to something better. I do not require perfection, only perseverance. For in my kingdom, victory belongs not to the strong, but to those who never give up. Keep your heart tender. Do not let the mission make you hard. Remember, I am love, and everything that flows from me bears the fragrance of love. If you serve without love, the mission becomes a burden, but when you love, every burden becomes light. I do not need heroes, I need those who love quietly. Let your words be gentle as the morning wind, but firm as the rock. Let your gaze carry the tenderness of heaven. Let every step you take bring warmth from my heart. You will meet those I have sent to walk beside you. They are not coincidences, but threads in the tapestry I am weaving. Some will strengthen your faith. Some will bring clarity. Some will share your load. Others will test your love to see if you can love as I love. Receive all with wisdom, for each soul you meet bears my fingerprint in a unique way. As you walk in your calling, you will learn the sacred lesson of silence. There will be times when I do not speak, not because I am far, but because I am teaching you to hear me within. Maturity does not come from hearing more, but from trusting deeper. Be still in me, and you will hear beyond words. I will teach you to discern the whisper of the Spirit from the noise of the flesh. In silence you will realize I have never stopped speaking. Do not fear the road ahead. You do not need to see the whole path, only the next step. With each step the light will extend further. As Psalm 119:105 says, "Your word is a lamp to my feet and a light to my path." I do not illuminate the entire road, for I want you to walk by faith. If you saw it all, you would no longer need me. But when you walk step by step, you will see me in every step, my beloved child. When you walk faithfully upon this path, you will become a vessel through which miracles flow. Not loud, spectacular miracles that draw crowds, but the quiet ones, the miracles of transformation. A comforted soul, a healed heart, a weary person who finds hope again through your smile. These are the greatest wonders of all. For in every small act done with love I am moving. I am in every drop of water you give to the thirsty, in every word of encouragement you speak to the broken, in every moment you choose forgiveness, though no one notices. Remember, the call at dawn is not a moment, it is a way of life. Each morning when you awaken, I call you once again. I remind you that you are still chosen, still loved, still sent. Whether the day begins with birdsong or rain, you have reason to smile because you are living within my call. Keep that rhythm, my child, for it is the song I composed for your soul alone. There comes a point in the sacred journey when faith ceases to be something you hold inside and becomes something others can see. That is when your soul begins to shine, not with the glare of pride, but with the quiet radiance of surrender. not a flame you light by effort, but a glow kindled by the breath of the Spirit. I do not call you only to walk in light. I call you to times be times light. For in me there is no darkness, and all who abide in me carry my brightness into the world. You ask, how can I be light when I am still weak, still wounded? And I say, it is through those very wounds that the light shines. Light does not pass through polished walls, but through cracks. When you give me your brokenness, I do not erase it, I make it shine. As metal glows only after it has passed through fire, so your soul refined in sorrow will reflect my glory more brightly than ever. Do not hide your scars, my child. Let them become evidence of my healing power. True light does not seek to dazzle, it seeks to warm. You will know that you carry my light when those near you feel peace, when hope awakens in their eyes, when your words lift their weary hearts. Light does not announce itself, it simply appears and darkness flees. You do not need to persuade anyone to believe, just live in the light, and your presence will make them want to believe. But to times be times light, you must times stand times in the light. The light cannot shine through a soul still hiding in fear. Many wish to shine, yet dwell in shadows of shame and regret. Hear me, my child. Nothing in your life, not your failures, your weakness, nor your past can extinguish my light within you unless you choose to believe it has gone out. When you believe I still dwell within you, the light returns. Step out of the darkness of self-condemnation. Believe that I have redeemed, forgiven, and forgotten. Live as one set free, for indeed you are free. Light is not something you carry, it is something you become. When you let my Spirit lead you, every word, every gesture, every breath bears my imprint. Others may not know why peace fills them in your presence, but they will feel something sacred, a fragrance like incense, carried by the wind, subtle yet enduring. The light you bear will be like that quiet, steady, lingering long after you have gone. To let your soul become light, remain near the source. Just as a lamp must be refilled with oil, you must come to me in stillness each dawn. Do not let busyness or distraction drain the flame within. I do not ask for many words. I ask for your presence. When you sit silently and whisper, Lord, I am here, the light within you is rekindled. Do not seek me in the noise of the world. Find me in the rhythm of your heart, for I dwell not in chaos, but in peace. You will see that as you walk in light, the enemy will try to dim it. He cannot extinguish it, so he will veil it with fog, doubt, deceit. Whispers that you are unworthy, that the light you see is an illusion. Do not listen. True light is unmoved by the voice of darkness. Remember, it is your very presence that makes him tremble. When you remain calm, you overcome him. When you refuse anger, you shine brighter. When you forgive, you defeat him completely. Darkness cannot conquer light, it merely lingers until the light appears. My child, let the light you carry become comfort for others. There are souls wandering through the night, unaware that dawn is near. You are the lamp they need. Go to them not with judgment, but with compassion. Do not merely speak of me. Show times me through your love. When you lift the fallen, when you take the hand of the lost, when you choose silence over strife, that is when you shine. Love as I love, for only love can truly pierce the world's shadow. And know this, my beloved, the light you bear is not just for now, but for generations to come. Every act of love you perform is a seed planted in eternity's field. Even if you never see the bloom, it will blossom in another season. Every prayer, every kind deed, every tear shed in faith is written in the treasure vault of heaven. Your light will not fade with time. It will ripple outward, reaching souls you have never met. For light does not know distance, it only knows how to spread. My beloved child, a day will come when you yourself will stand as living proof of my faithfulness. Others will look upon your life and say, truly God still works miracles. They will not see perfection in you, but they will see a peace that no one can take away. They will ask, "How can you still smile in the midst of trials?" And you will answer not with words, but through your presence, because the answer will not lie in speech, but in the light you radiate. Then you will understand to become light is not an honor, but a mission. When the light within you begins to shine brighter, you will see that it not only illuminates your path, but also gives others the courage to find their own way. Light never keeps to itself. Its nature is to spread. So too my grace in you is never meant to stop with you. It flows through you like a river reaching the barren places, quenching the thirsty souls, awakening hearts long numbed by pain. When you allow the light in you to touch others, you fulfill my will without striving. For I do not need your effort to shine, I only need you not to hide. There will be people I send into your life not for you to be helped, but for you to help them see the light within themselves. They will come bearing fear, wounds, and loss, believing their darkness too deep to ever change. Yet all it takes is your presence, a gaze without judgment, a moment of compassion, and they will feel something different, a gentle warmth they cannot name. In that instant, my spirit in you is moving. The light you carry does not need words. It speaks through life itself. You do not need to heal anyone, I am the healer. But I will use you as a bridge, as a breeze, as the first drop of rain upon dry ground. When you love without condition, when you choose silence over anger, when you pray for another in secret, that is when your light seeps into the deepest shadows. Do not think nothing is changing. I am always working in the unseen. Believe that every small act done in love carries power that moves heaven itself. Let me teach you how to keep the light from fading through the long night. Not everyone will welcome it. Some will doubt, some will resist, some will even try to extinguish it because they are not yet ready to face their own reflection. But do not let that dim your flame. Darkness cannot touch the fire that does not fear. Keep your heart tender, even when it bleeds. Love without expecting love. In return, for in doing so, you resemble me most. As my light continues to burn within you, you will notice it transforming the very spaces you enter. Places once filled with tension will soften into peace. Rooms once heavy with sorrow will feel lighter. Even silence will seem gentler in your presence. That is the power of light. It needs no words, no performance, only presence. Light never argues with darkness, it simply shines. You do not need to win with reason, only to remain in truth. When you step into conflict, bring peace. When you hear criticism, answer with calm. When you see suffering, do not turn away. When you face wrong, pray before you act. This is how you become an instrument of light, for light was never given to condemn but to guide. You will learn that the brightest light is not the one seen by others, but the one kept faithfully within. There will be days when no one notices you, no one praises, no one remembers. Yet if your heart stays pure, if you still choose love over bitterness, then your light will glow more radiantly than ever. True light does not depend on witnesses. It depends on the one who lit it. Do not measure your worth by the world's response. Measure it by your faithfulness in silence. As you live in the light, you will not be able to hide your joy. It will not be loud or showy, but deep, a quiet serenity that makes others ask, "What gives you such peace?" And you will answer, not with doctrine but with your eyes, "Because I know God is here." In that moment, your life will be a living sermon, no pulpit, no stage, no microphone, just a heart burning with love. My child, let the light within you melt the ice around frozen souls. Some I will send your way have forgotten what it means to be loved. But if you treat them with kindness, if you smile and call them by name with respect, the light will begin to thaw their hearts. You cannot imagine what happens when a hurting soul is seen through my eyes, through your eyes. Light not only shines, it warms. And warmth is a language every soul understands. Yet for this light to continue shining, you must return often to the source. Do not let yourself run dry. Every prayer adds oil to your lamp. Every act of forgiveness clears the glass of your heart so the light may shine brighter. Every moment of gratitude draws heaven closer to you. Keep your rhythm in step with my spirit, for where the spirit breathes, the light burns. One day you will look back and realize that this light has changed you more than all you ever did for others. When you shine, you are also illuminated. When you help heal others, you too are healed. When you love, you are loved more deeply. When you forgive, you are set free. This is what I have always whispered to you. Everything you sow in the light returns to you in grace. You cannot lose what is given in love, for love never dies. Child, your light will multiply. Every soul you touch will carry a spark of it, and they in turn will illuminate other hearts. They too will heal. They too will love. They too will forgive. And so the light will spread like a sacred flame passed from candle to candle. One day the whole world will glow with the radiance that began in you. On that day I will look down and smile, for your light will have fulfilled the purpose for which it was born. My beloved, it is time you understand something deeper. The light you carry does not come from outside you. It springs from the very source of life within. I do not give light as a separate gift. I myself am that light. When you allow me to live in you, you no longer merely reflect it, you become its embodiment. You and I are no longer apart, for I do not dwell beside you. I dwell within you. Like a drop merging into the sea, like a flame blending into the great fire, your soul has entered into me, not losing its essence but expanding into infinity. Every journey until now has led to this moment, the moment when your soul stops searching for me elsewhere and finds me within. When you look inward and find peace, that is the sign that I am there. When you are silent yet feel life pulsing through you, that is the flow of the light. When you believe without needing proof, that is faith becoming instinct, because your rhythm and mine have become one. Many seek light as a phenomenon to behold, but you have learned that light is not something to observe, it is something to become. And when you become it, the world around you begins to change, not because of what you do, but because of who you are. I do not need you to perform miracles with your hands, for the serenity in your eyes is already a miracle. When you look upon another with love, their darkness cracks. When you speak with grace, your words carry the warmth of heaven. When you walk in gratitude, even the ground beneath your feet becomes sacred. True light never boasts of itself. It exists like breath, humble, steady, and essential to life. People may forget your name, but they will never forget how they felt in your presence. They may not recall your words, but they will remember that they once felt loved. That is how light spreads, not through noise, but through gentleness. Live as the light, not to be seen, but to help others remember that they too carry it within. My beloved, when your soul truly unites with the light, you will see no more me and them, no above or below, no savior or saved. All becomes one river of love. When you look at others and see me in them, when you look within yourself and see nothing but compassion, you have entered the union I have long desired for you. That my child is my kingdom, not far away, but here in every soul that loves. Remember, light has no shape, it only knows how to spread. So, do not define who you are or cling to a single role. Let me carry you like the wind. Today you may be the comforter, tomorrow the comforted. Today you may give, tomorrow receive. Through it all, I am the one moving. When you release the need to control, you will see that the light knows its path. It will find where it must go in ways you could never plan. You need only let it flow unhindered. You once thought light could only shine in calm, but now you know it glows even in the storm. Light does not need favorable conditions to exist. It was made to overcome them. It is in the darkest nights that your light burns brightest, when you are misunderstood, yet still choose to love, when you are wounded, yet still choose to forgive, when you are abandoned, yet still choose to trust. In those moments, your light reaches its summit, and then you will realize that nothing can truly harm you anymore. Pain only dwells where darkness hides, and a soul that has become light leaves no place for darkness to live. Fear will vanish, for you will know I govern all things. Worry will fade, for you will see that all is grace. Anger will dissolve, for you will understand that no one can take what is yours in me. You will walk no longer with a guarded heart, but with one wide open, and in every breath you will feel heaven breathing with you. The light you have become is not confined to this life. It transcends time, flowing beyond the veil between seen and unseen worlds. When your body passes, that light will go on, merging with the great current of eternal brilliance. Every soul you have touched will carry a spark of it and pass it onward. So do not fear death. It is not an end, but a continuation in another form of light. Like one candle lighting another, your flame will never be extinguished. Now hear this, my beloved. The light within you is my love, unchanging, inexhaustible, eternal. When you live in love, you live in me. When you love with a pure heart, you give others a glimpse of heaven. When you forgive, you free the world from its chains of darkness. When you pray, you reconnect the threads between heaven and earth. And when you smile through pain, you proclaim that love is stronger than all things. My precious child, know that I am proud of you. You have walked through the long night and kept the flame alive. You did not let darkness consume your soul. Now you are no longer a seeker of light. You are its living testimony. The world may not know your name, but heaven does. In the book of life, your name shines like a star that never fades. Go now and shine, not with words, but with presence. Not with spectacle, but with kindness. Not with outward power, but with the quiet strength of gentleness. For wherever you are, there I am, and wherever I am, darkness cannot remain. My child, now you have reached the end of the journey, the place where light is no longer separate from you, and you are no longer separate from me. Every step before this was only preparation for this moment, the day of union and glory. On that day you will understand that every sorrow, every waiting, every tear that fell was never in vain. For each tear has become a jewel in your crown, each wound a window through which my glory shines. And now, my child, I say to you, you are no longer outside of me, but within me, and I am within you. You once believed that unity was a prize for the victorious, but no, my child, it is a gift for the surrendered. Only when you release your grasp can I hold you fully. Only when you stop searching for me in the noise can you hear me in your breath. Only when you cease to prove yourself can you be transformed. Glory does not come from achievement, but from returning to what you already are, my image. As you enter this day of union, you will see every fragment within you begin to align. The past will no longer be a burden of regret, but a mosaic of grace. Each mistake that once stained you will now become a stroke of color highlighting my mercy. Each failure that once bowed your head will now bow your heart, that my glory may be revealed. You will finally understand why I did not allow you to win too soon, because true victory is not triumph over others, but mastery over the self that once resisted me. My child, glory is not an external light shining upon you. It is the inner radiance awakening within. It does not inflate you with pride. It humbles you. When your soul merges with my light, you will find no need to cling, to strive, or to defend. You will know that no one can steal what I have given. You will no longer fear loss, for you will know you cannot lose me. As a drop cannot be separated from the sea, you cannot be separated from my love. On that day you will see the world through new eyes. Everything that once frightened you will become transparent, because light now passes through it. You will look upon others and see, not faults to judge, but souls learning their own sacred lessons. You will love them as I love you, with patience, without control, without resentment. You will understand that every soul is on its way home, each along a different path, yet all converging at the same destination, my heart. When you see this, comparison will vanish, judgment will dissolve, and in their place will bloom prayer born of compassion. On the day of union, love will no longer be a feeling, but the very breath you take. You will no longer pray to receive love, because you will become love. You will no longer fear loneliness, for you will see that loneliness is only the illusion of a mind that has forgotten where it belongs. Now you know you belong to me. Wherever you go, I am there. In every word you speak, I am within it. In every breath you take, I am the breath itself. That, my child, is true union, no distance between God and soul, between eternity and now, between heaven and earth. As you stand in this glory, you will look back on the dark nights and realize I was there in every moment. When you wept, I wept with you. When you fell, I upheld you. When you thought yourself abandoned, I sat beside you in silence. But now every tear is wiped away, every fear dissolved, every prayer fulfilled. You will see that I was never absent, only unseen. Now your eyes are open, your heart is radiant, and you know I am, all in all, my beloved. On this day you will no longer hear my voice from afar, but from the rhythm of your own heartbeat. Every beat will whisper, I am here. Every breath will declare, I will never leave you. Every peaceful thought will testify that your soul has become one with mine. And when you speak, it will no longer be as one who searches, but as one who has found the eternal. Your words will carry power to lift others, for they will no longer be yours, but mine through you. Now you enter glory not as one rewarded, but as a child returning home. Heaven does not open with thunder or triumph, but with sacred stillness, when the soul realizes it has arrived. No more striving, no more fear, no more longing, only love, infinite, unchanging, complete. You no longer need to seek heaven, for it is within you. You no longer wait for the day of the Lord, for that day is now in the union of you and me. Engrave this truth in your heart. Union is not the end of the story, but the beginning of eternity. From this moment forward, you will no longer live by time, but by eternal life. Every moment will be holy, every act divine, for wherever there is love, there I am, and wherever I am, there is heaven. My beloved child, as you step deeper into the day of union, you will realize that glory is no longer something that happens to you. It is something that flows through you. You are no longer merely a recipient of grace, but a channel through which grace overflows. Every word you speak, every glance you give, every gesture you offer, becomes a vessel through which my love moves. Now you no longer need to ask to be used by me, for you have become a natural instrument in my hands. Just as the tree does not strive to blossom, it simply lives in the light. You will begin to see me in the smallest details. When the breeze brushes your face, that is my breath passing by. When a child smiles, it is my eyes looking at you through innocence. When the birds sing at dawn, that is my voice greeting you with a new day. And when night falls, do not be afraid, for darkness is only the veil that hides my light for a time, so that you may learn to trust by faith, not by sight. When you live in union, the line between the sacred and the ordinary disappears. There is no longer serving me versus living your life, all becomes holy. When you prepare a meal with gratitude, it is worship. When you listen with compassion, it is prayer in motion. When you forgive, it is the purest offering. When you work with integrity, your labor becomes incense rising to heaven. My child, whatever you do in love bears my glory. You ask me, how can I stay united while living among the world? And I say, by remembering that I am in everything. When you wash your hands, know that I am renewing your soul. When you eat, know that I am sustaining you with my life. When you sleep, know that I am singing over you in peace. There is no trivial moment if you look with the eyes of love. For me, there is no divide between sacred and common, only one endless current of grace flowing through all that lives. On the day of union, miracles will happen without your asking. A door will open the moment it crosses your mind. A gentle word from you will soften a hardened heart. Your silence alone will calm a storm within someone else. This is not magic, it is glory. The glory of complete harmony with my will. When you no longer wrestle against me, when your soul beats in time with my purpose, the universe itself cooperates to bring forth good on your behalf. Do not imagine that glory always comes as blinding light or ecstatic feeling. True glory often comes clothed in simplicity. A deep breath in the midst of turmoil, a smile amid pain, a word of thanks in loss. Glory is not something seen with the eyes but felt with the soul. It is not found in thunder, but in the whispering wind. It does not appear when you triumph, but when you surrender. So do not search for it in the grand, but in the small things done with great love. And then you will see that when I live within you, you no longer serve me as a servant, but walk with me as a friend. I will whisper to you in what seems like ordinary moments. I will guide your steps down roads you never planned, making you the answer to someone's prayer. There will be days when you do not understand why I lead you where I do, but later you will see it was to bring my light to a place untouched by love. When you live in union, your peace will become a refuge for others. They will come to you not because you have all the answers, but because they sense in you a peace the world cannot give. And when they ask for your secret, you will simply smile and say, I stopped trying. For truly glory is not found in striving, but in surrender. The moment you cease to resist my flow begins, and all things fall into their perfect place. My child, glory never walks with pride. The closer you are to me, the more humble you become. For when the soul beholds true glory, it cannot exalt itself, it can only bow. Like Moses before the burning bush that blazed without consuming, you will fall to your knees and whisper, Lord, this is holy ground. You will see that glory does not come to be admired, it comes to transform. And when it touches you, every old thing within you will dissolve like morning mist in sunlight. Live this day as though it will never end, for indeed it never ends. Glory is not bound by circumstance, but flows from within. Whether on the mountaintop or in the valley, the light still flows. Whether in joy or in brokenness, love keeps moving. You may lose everything outwardly, but you cannot lose this union. For I am not merely with you, I am within you. And nothing in heaven or on earth can separate me from you. This is the life I have always promised, not a religion but a relationship, not a duty but a love, not submission born of fear, but union sustained by grace. When you live in this truth, you will understand my words in John 1:5-4, Abide in me, and I in you. For when you dwell in me, you will bear fruit without striving, and your fruit will endure fragrant with the scent of heaven. My beloved child, now you stand at the meeting place of heaven and earth, where all boundaries fade, and your soul is lifted into eternal light. There is no darkness now, no tears, no fear. You have journeyed through every shadow, through doubt, through loneliness, through the inner storms, and now you have arrived at the place I prepared for you. This is the day I promised you long ago, the day when you and I become one, not in symbol, not in distance, but in living truth, in every eternal breath we share. My beloved child, look around you. Everything is singing. The earth, the wind, the waters, and even the light itself are harmonizing in the rhythm of heaven. For when a soul returns home, all of heaven rejoices. I see you, my light within you is no longer a fragile spark, but a radiant sun shining upon the skies of other souls. The angels are singing not because you have been perfect, but because you have surrendered. Not because you never fell, but because you rose each time you stumbled and still believed that I was there. Through every trial I walked beside you. In your loneliness I was the silence that kept you company. When you thought all was lost, I was already writing a new chapter of hope. And now you see that nothing was ever truly lost. Everything was simply being transformed from mortal to divine, from temporary to eternal. My child, every tear you shed has been turned into a radiant gem in your crown of glory. They no longer speak of sorrow, but of steadfast love. Do you hear it now? Heaven is singing a new song, a song reserved for those who have walked through fire and kept their faith. The song proclaims, "The chosen one has returned, the fallen stands, the weeper now sings." And in that holy melody, your name resounds like a bright note, not to exalt you, but to declare that love has triumphed, darkness has fallen, faith has endured, and eternal life has begun. My child, now you will understand the true meaning of freedom. Freedom is not doing everything you wish. It is being unbound by anything that once held you captive. You are no longer chained by fear, by old memories, or by the need to prove yourself. You are free to love, to give, to live without holding back. You are free to forgive without demanding justice, knowing that all things have already been made complete in me. You are free to smile even in the storm, for you know that I am the wind, the wave, and the shore where you find your rest. The glory you now walk in is not the glory of the world where people compete and boast, but the brilliance of a soul made transparent through which light passes unhindered. You no longer shine to be seen, you shine because I dwell within you. No one can dim this light, for it does not depend on circumstance. Whether in noise or stillness, in misunderstanding or in praise, your light remains as radiant as the dawn because it is mine and I do not change. As you walk in this glory, you will become a living testimony for others that love is real, that God never forgets. You will speak, not merely through words, but through your presence. When you look upon someone with my eyes, they will remember that they are loved. When you touch another with compassion, their wounds will begin to heal. When you pray for others, the light within you will seep into the deepest corners of their souls, into the places they never dared to open. That my child is the power of one who has become one with me, not by striving, but simply by existing in love. Now I call you not only my child, but my friend. As Jesus said to his disciples, I no longer call you servants, for the servant does not know what his master is doing, but I have called you friends. John 1:5. You have known my heart, walked beside me, and carried my burden for the world. Now you are no longer merely one who has been saved, but one who saves with me. Not merely one who is loved, but one who loves with me. Not merely one who prays, but a living prayer walking among humankind. From this day forward, you will no longer fear death, for you have already found true life. Death is only a thin veil through which you pass from the visible into the invisible, from limitation into infinity. You will walk through it as through a soft light, and I will be on the other side, arms open wide. You will hear my voice, gentle yet clear. It is finished. Come, enter into my rest. And in that moment you will know that every longing, every ache, every hope has been fulfilled in one eternal truth, love. My beloved, live each day left to you on this earth, as one who has already seen heaven. Walk without fear, love without restraint, give without counting. For glory is not in the day you reach heaven, but in the way you bring heaven to earth. You are the proof that God still lives, that love is stronger than death, that light can never be extinguished. And now I speak one final word to you. You are mine forever and unchanging. No darkness can reclaim you. No lie can separate you from my love. No distance can silence my voice within you. Live, my child, as one resurrected, for truly you have risen in me. And when the world looks at you, they will see me, for you and I are one. And now, my beloved soul, whom I cherish, I bless you. Go forth in the peace of heaven. Carry my light wherever you go. Let your feet become the rhythm of grace, your eyes the windows of mercy, your hands the instruments of healing. Sing even when the world is silent. Love even when the world grows cold. Forgive even when the world does not understand. for you are in me and I am in you forever, unchanging. Thank you for listening to this message today. Subscribe and turn on the notification bell so together we may continue to receive the living word, strengthen our faith, and walk in the boundless love of God. Amen.